Hi, I'm Jerry Hutchcroft, and we are in Tempe, Arizona today at Becker Automotive Restoration. This is Don Becker, the proprietor. And Don, we're in your cross-flow paint booth, and this is probably one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen, which I think is indicative of your whole shop, from what I've seen.
Thanks, Jerry. Well, let's show the viewers some of the processes we go through to bring the cars to completion.
Let's go.
Jerry, we're here in our body restoration department. And we've got three exciting projects that we're working on right now. We have a 64.5 Mustang coupe that was a project started by our client about 20 years ago and put on a hiatus of such, and we've been asked to pick up the project and take it to completion. We have a 50 Mercury Monterey that belongs to a couple that has owned the car since 1954 and has been very interested in getting the car back on the road again, so that they can enjoy it. And then we have behind us here a 68 Volkswagen Beetle that we're doing for a gentleman who had one in high school and wants to have another one. This one he wants built to a concours standard of quality. So
we came to the right place, right?
Well, we're going to give it our very best shot.
Well, Don, let's go take a look at the Mercury, because I know the Mustang, that's one we can do down the road, because that's just coming in the door. But let's look at this Mercury.
Jerry, the Mercury here, we have the front sheet metal in the booth in the priming process right now. We have the firewall painted the actual correct Cotaro red that's going to go on the exterior of the car. The undercoating has all been done. We've mounted the body onto the frame and aligned that so that we can get all of the front sheet metal aligned and then do our final block sanding with all the body panels together and on the vehicle. We'll then remove the front sheet metal again when we do the actual finish spraying of the vehicle, do the polishing, and then we'll do the final reassembly. We have the lower valance panel, front valance panel for the 50 Mercury here on the bench that has been blasted, and that's the method that we use to prepare our metal surfaces for the epoxy primer sealer application. We then, after that process is done, we then block sand that surface to reveal the little minute low areas that we may have that were really representing a few thousandths of an inch of variation. But that allows us to know where we're going to be applying the thin amount of filler process necessary in order to create a perfectly smooth surface. From here, we go on into the sprayable filler application that we will use for our block sanding, which will then produce the result that we're really trying to achieve.
Well, Don, here we are in another room here. This is a really clean room, and what goes on in here?
This is our assembly disassembly room. Right now we're functioning as in the assembly vein. The Mustang here has gone through all of the body and paint operations that are necessary to produce a car of this quality. We are reassembling now, getting our panel fits and alignment back where we want them to be as part of that assembly process. And from here it's just tidying up the loose ends.
Well, Don, thank you so much for the tour of the shop. I mean, incredible what you guys are doing out here. Even though you guys do restorations, this is really, really nice and really clean. It's unusual to see a shop that's this clean. And speaking of clean and nice, you got to tell us about this car, because I know that this car is leaving the state and going back to its owners, but that is probably the most incredible 59 Ford I've ever seen. So tell us about this car and why you have passion and why the customer has passion for a vehicle like this.
Thanks, Jerry. Yes, indeed, this customer of ours commissioned us to build a reproduction, if you will, of the first new car that he ever owned. He was 18 years old and had the car for 12 years and basically raised his family while owning it. He always wanted to have another one because he was very fond of the car. So we set to work to find an appropriate example from which we could construct an exact replica of his original car. This particular car was actually sold new here in Phoenix, and it's kind of unusual in that it has factory air conditioning, which was kind of an unusual option, even in Arizona for 1959. So we've had a great time restoring the car for our client. It's kind of typical of many of the clients that we work with. These are individuals who, while not necessarily being being quote-unquote car people, there's a special car in their history that means a lot to them, and we just get a lot of enjoyment out of helping them reconnect with memories from the past, as well as providing a very high quality car for them in which to create new memories that we hope they will enjoy very much.
Well, it's definitely an amazing car, and as a 59 Ford, which is really, you don't think of a 59 Ford as really a collectible car, but the passion, I mean, that's why we're all love this business and love this hobby. I want to thank you so much for inviting us out to do the presenting sponsor today from Becker Automotive Restoration, Tempe, Arizona. And you see the numbers right here, as they're always here. Don, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
You're watching Roddin and Racin TV.